Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to kind of Loreweek. I am, as always, your host, the Lore Runner. I mean, I could probably really scrape the barrel to come up with some news to talk about this week, but aside from the obvious things, I got nothing. This is one of the reasons why I'm comfortable with pulling away from the Loreweek every week format, because frankly, there's just nothing to talk about. So that's cool. However, obviously, of course, we do have the Final Fantasy VI continuation, which I am actually rather looking forward to. For those curious, we'll be starting with the Under Martial Law song, specifically. So far, the FF6 soundtrack has been mixed, I would say. Sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been jazz, and sometimes the songs have been actually pretty demonstrably better than their originals, and sometimes they've just been different. It's been an interesting discovery so far, and we've already covered some of the songs, aka what doesn't really matter. But we do have a few left. We will almost assuredly not finish today, so we'll probably be doing this next week as well. As a quick heads up, we are currently in Heavensward. We will assuredly, with total guarantee, finish Heavensward this week and start Stormblood. The odds of that not happening are so minuscule, even though we will probably not be streaming tomorrow, that I can't even imagine that being a thing. By the way, I keep saying we might not be streaming tomorrow because, to be completely honest, I'm actually still not sure. Nor will I know until tonight. So if I randomly start streaming tomorrow, that's when you'll know that I am, in fact, streaming tomorrow. Oh. So, first song we're going to analyze is the song that I just talked about, which I actually already have queued right here. You can already tell where this one's going. A lot of Final Fantasy VI music is very moroseful. Yes, this is in fact my second zone, Belgics, and indeed I plan to do effectively all of them off camera. Possibly today and tomorrow. But yes, Crazy Norse. Just music today. No news, nothing to speak of. Thank you, Zachariah Jebediah, very much, as always. Much appreciated. And as a reminder, those of you who didn't catch it, the Patreon March 5th post is up. Many people have already done that. That was actually an hour of my morning. I was going through that. I also had a mental argument with myself, which may amuse you, but... Anyways, point being, and Shadow Machine, I still thank you. Even though it's not a real one, you're still awesome. You can already tell the tone of the song. Lots of FF6 music is somber, saddened, or grief-stricken, or otherwise definitely in a more morose tone, going more into words that I don't have in order to describe exactly how sad the music is. Minor keys, as well as downswings in terms of note construction. All that stuff, right? So you can already see how they're doing this with this. We have the low, somber strings in the background, and we've got a single, what I believe is an oboe, just carrying the main melody by itself in an almost lonely manner, once again getting across that ever-important tone of melancholy. And you can imagine what kind of songs what kind of areas that particular song plays in. So let's hear the new one. Make sure the volume's right, because we have to crank it all the way down to 10% here. As expected, the strings are excellent in the new version. They always are. Robusto. Yeah, I'm not sure what I like of that clarinet, or what I think of that clarinet. I'm definitely not sure if I like it. How's that there? and then they switch the woodwind they're using. Like 70% of it is trihexia. Yeah, I don't actually have question bought up at all. I usually don't for Sundays. Yeah, I don't know, US and Corp. I'm not sure I like what they're doing with those woodwinds. It feels less like a lonely player and more like a part of an accompaniment. And there's some kind of weird synth going on in the background, which I'm not sure I'm into either. So I like that. Yes, Sitzler. Sorry. Don't worry, I'm taking notes. I've actually already given a positive and a negative for these. And that's the loop. I don't know, I'm not sure what I think of that. It definitely loses the tone of the original, but it's not a bad take. But the second loop there doesn't really do anything with it. It just barely adds one additional note, which is nice, but should have probably been there for the entire thing. By the way, this guy's a moron. None. Trihexia, 0. There's no such thing. That's the problem. Hi, Ben Wilmot. Enjoy the walk. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into that. While we're in South Figaro, occupied South Figaro, one of the first things we meet is Celeste, who is definitely being beaten up while chained by the Imperial soldiers who are there. God damn it. It's just, it, okay. I get why they nerfed it. I get why they changed the scene. I don't agree with why they changed the scene. But if you're going to change the scene, at least replace it with something, because the actual scene as played is just really weird and awkward. Like, they just stare at her for a few seconds and like, this is what you get! It's, what? They didn't replace it with anything. They just deleted it, and so it's just weird. Anyway, sorry. So we meet Celeste. Which is this one. Right? Hang on. Is that the next one? Yep, okay. So we don't hear Celeste's theme at this point in time. In fact, we don't hear her theme for several hours in-game. I believe the first time we hear this song is actually after the opera in... I can't think of the name of it. Albrook, I want to say. Yeah, when you leave for Thamasa, exactly. And of course that makes sense. And so, if this is not obvious, what you're about to hear is a song which has elements of her theme, but also elements of the opera theme, because the opera theme, in many ways, serves the same motif as Celeste's theme, for reasons that make sense. So, ahem. I mean, I'm not doing every language of Mega Legion. I'm not that insane. No, Pika. I have not had time. My morning was busy doing paperwork. And this. While doing paperwork. So, I hate to feel... A lot of songs in FF6, I'm going to be saying the same things, but you once again get the grief in the song. This is the song of a lonely and frankly broken person. The central melody being carried there primarily by that chime, that form of piano, whatever that actually is. Well, you've got 2 layers of strings in the background accompanying and forming not only a harmony, but also a bit of a counterbalance. You can hear the 2 strings there. So I'm really nervous what they're going to do with that one, but it's a lot of strings, and they tend to be good on the strings department in the remaster, so let's hear what we got. Okay, I already don't like that. That's like 5 different layers that don't need to be there. And they go back to the woodwind. They really have a fascination with woodwinds in the Pixel remasters, which I don't like in general. Yeah, I really don't like that. Like, they added a really high-pitched string in the background and, like, a soul violin or something like that, in addition to the 2 layers of strings. And changing that from a chime into that woodwind really doesn't work for this. I don't like the use of woodwinds in the remasters. They're usually too piercing and, frankly, in my opinion, misutilized. Like, this is not only too busy, it's actually ruining the tone entirely. Ironically, this sounds more like an opera song than Celeste's theme. Yeah, that's just... I'm just going to stop that one. No, thank you. And yeah, I know the scene. I know the scene. It's my second favorite scene in the entire game. So, of course, I know the scene. Yeah, it shouldn't sound hopeful. Whatever. The next one is... I don't know what. Ah, okay. So, the next one is Imperial Star Destroyer. See if I can find this song, because I'm not sure what it's called. Is it? Nope. Why do they always change the names of their song? Here it is. Bits and pieces of Locke's motif in this one, as you can tell. This guy's such a moron. As with a lot of FF6's music, you can kind of get the general idea of where we're going with this anyways. Lots of usage of brass. Central theme there. Motifed. He likes to, there's a lot of the songs in FF6 like to pull in motifs for just one section, one stanza, before moving on to the next thing. And you get the general idea. Yeah, Dancing Mad. I mean, it's like a 14-minute song. It's gonna be a minute. Now, Imperial Star Destroyer says, no need to bow, but I am still very grateful. Thank you, Imperial Star Destroyer. So I'm going to go ahead and admit something. Well, there's no song in FF6 I dislike, I actively dislike. I don't care for this one that much. It's not a bad song, it's just, it's a serviceable song, you know what I mean? It does exactly what it needs to. This is the we're gonna rush off and save the people song, right? Which leads us to... Yeah, again, very busy. Works a little bit better in this case because this is supposed to be a frenetic song. So, it works a little more. Again with the woodwinds. I do like how they challenge the brass in this one. I like the second section here, the second loop, much better so far. It's actually using its strings to good effect, and they're actually accompanying the brass. Oh, listen to that. They just went straight out, and rather than just have a single stanza, they just pulled the overworld theme into that. Here, I kind of talked over that here. Let me replay it so you can hear it. No, Saffron, I have had no time to do anything. And all the theaters are shut down, so all my viewings are streaming right now. The first loop isn't bad. I do think it's a little too busy. I think they do a little bit too much with it. I do like the second loop, but at the same time, it feels like a weird choice for this kind of approach. Again, this feels like one of the different ones, but I'm not sure I could call it better. Anyways. So, our next one's going to be Boss. This is one several people were like, I can't believe you didn't listen to the Boss music. And then, you know, I had to inform them that I was doing it in order. So this is the first time the Boss music shows up. Real quick, thank you, Elizar, as always. And as always, if you know where you want it to go, do please let me know. So, Boss. Now, I know a lot of people like this song better than I do. I'm not saying it's bad, not by any measure of the word. But it's just, I've always been amused how this usually tends to rate towards the upper end of people's favorite Boss songs. And for me, it's more middling. It's good, don't mistake me. I don't know what disc gold is, I'm sorry. So, this is a classic example of what Uematsu likes to do with his works. There are two primary instruments going through it, the rock organ and the strings, and one of them goes primary and the other one goes secondary, and then they swap. Which one's actually carrying the melody changes throughout the course of the song. Ah, Disciple. Gotcha, Elizar. And yes, I did a Pro Starter Shore, and I got that down for Mega Man Legends too. Speaking of which, thank you, Ciela. Very much, as always. Yeah, I like 7s, I like 9s, I also happen to like 4s, but I'm a weirdo on that one, I'll admit it. Still, it's not a bad boss song, and I don't want to sound like it is. It is a very classic boss song, and it's got a very good pace to it. What's weird about this song, though, is if you're paying attention, if it's not Disciples Gold, I got nothing, Elizar. If it's, the pace isn't actually that fast, it's weirdly casual, if that makes any sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a kind of a smooth tempo to it, which is an unusual choice for a boss song, which of course brings us to Gotta add the rock guitar in there. They do that for all of these. Good usage, though. I like that they kept the rock organ. I think this song would actually be worse without it. That's a weird choice. Can someone tell Elizar I've gotten his donation, please? He apparently can't hear me. It sounds like Sonic music, doesn't it? The way they're using that violin. Hold on. I hate to pause this. Give me a second here. No. I don't think I have it here, actually. To YouTube. No. Hang on. Damn it, I don't remember the name of the zone. Oh, whatever, I give up. I'm gonna give up on it. I'm just gonna let it go. But it sounds, I swear to God, that's the exact same sound file as they use in Sonic Unleashed for the violin. I'm not sure what I think of that. See, I like some of the little touches they add. I do think they use the guitar to good effect, and I do think the use of the rock violin, the rock solo string was a good choice here. Yeah, it's definitely a better boss song. Absolutely. I like how what they're actually doing here is they're using the distorted guitar as the drum beat. Which is good. It's a good choice. It's a good move. God, these quests never end. I get it. Dragons aren't evil. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I think I like it. I'm not sure if I like it more so much as I like it different. But again, I do like it quite a bit. I'm with it. So, good pick there. Let's see. What's next? Right. Something terrifying is happening. This is actually a variant on the run format. You know, there's a lot of songs that have run as their style and motif. It's called Metamorphosis, which I've always disliked. I get why they call it that, but this is disaster. This is something horrifying and terrifying has happened. There's a reason why we only hear this semi-frequently, and usually for moments of absolutely horrific, terrible events, right? Like the flooded continent. Really good position for this. Believe it or not, it's actually already looped, as with most run songs, it's fairly short. Yeah, exactly, Imperial Story. It's just, you could feel how they're going with this, the calamity of it. So... I already don't like that use of guitar. I do like the use of brass. Notice how they are once again using the guitar as the drum beat, which is a good call. No, it really doesn't. This sounds like a rock remix of the song, which is its own thing, but like in the game, this doesn't work nearly as well. They do a decent work with the strings on this one side, and the brass being used to emphasize the end of each string sequence, but I really don't like how they're just kind of bringing in a rock guitar for no real reason. This sounds like something I'd hear at a local band, which is fine in its own right, but really doesn't work for that specific type of tune, theme that we're going for. So what's next? Oh, that's the Overworld. We've actually already listened to that. Okay, so this one's going to be... I don't have much to add to this. It's an extraordinarily simple song, but you can see how much they're doing with it in such a very short period of time. In most games, this would fulfill the sorrow slate, but this is actually a specific brand of sorrow. Because we actually have a second section. Changes the main instrument, adds the strings in the background, because the whole point of this is supposed to be a duet. For where they've already lost one of the members, actually, but yeah. And then notice the two instruments start sharing the melody. By the way, this is another 4-track song. And yeah, it's a brilliant song. Brilliant song. It gets across everything it needs to very, very well. Very thematically powerful. Very emotional. Let's see how the new one does. With it so far, keeping it quiet and simple. And believe it or not, that's it. There's no second loop for this one. You'll notice that's a straight mix. They didn't change anything. They just changed the instruments. So I don't have much to say about that. It still works for the same reason the original worked. There's one thing I don't like about this. It's a minor complaint. It's a nitpick. So there's actually 2 of them. It's not my fault this quest chain sucks. Speaking of which, I need to jot down another negative. There's 2 instruments here instead of just one. There's the original chime, and there's a reverb behind it. It's hard to explain, but basically think like there's a ding, and then there's a wing, 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 wing. And both of those are playing simultaneously in a way to try and make it sound like it's more reverberating, more echoing in like an empty room. But all it does is actually make it sound a little bit more piercing to my ears. That's my only complaint. Otherwise, it's just the same song. So next is, of course, getting on the chocobo. It's going to be interesting. It's a chocobo song. You'll notice, actually, if I'm being completely honest, this is the first time Uematsu has really tried to stretch with the chocobo song. Something he would do in every single game from here up until 9. You know, he tried to do something else with the bass tune. So he made this one have this kind of higher beat, higher pace kind of a thing. Kind of a weird, almost zany feel to it, which would definitely be continued in future Final Fantasies. All the way up to and including 13-2, which we will not comment on here. Thank you, Trafin, very much as always. I'll jot that down for the Metroid block. Give me a minute here. Let's listen to the new one. Definitely sounds more techno. What? Yeah, actually, I take it back. This isn't techno, this is funk. Yeah, this is... I don't know what the hell to make of this. Keep in mind, this plays when you're just riding around on a chocobo. I don't know what I think of that. It's already looped. It's certainly very cohesive. It is adhering to the funk tone consistently. But I don't know what else to add to that. Yeah, we're just going to put that in the it's different. And we're just going to leave that there. Okay, well, what's going to be next? Another very sad song. Because, listen, we can't have good things, okay? So, you'll notice Locke's theme is just straight up in this song. Brilliantly, I might add. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's Locke's theme. Right there. This is actually one of the most brilliant things about FF6's soundtrack, which is something I, to my criminal negligence, have never actually commented on in the many times I've streamed this game. One of the things that Uematsu does a lot, in 6 in particular, is almost every character theme has a somber version of that same theme. Or a triumphant version of that theme. Yeah, lots of motifs. Lots of leitmotifs in 6. And he uses them so well. In fact, I'm gonna let this play because I want to talk about this a little bit. What is this? This is 2 channels. We've got the whatever that woodwind is, and we got a harp. That's it. And then we pull in the strings in the backgrounds. Then we go back down to 2. We've got a bass which replaces the strings. And notice how the strings actually come in here, but it's not hopeful. As weird as that may sound, this is grief. This is grief expressed. This is allowing yourself to actually feel what you've been trying not to feel. Which you can tell so perfectly because once it fades, it loops perfectly right back into the solo oboe and the harp. I'm sorry, it's forgive me for gushing. That is just such a brilliantly constructed song. New version. We've got that whistle again, the actual person playing it. Adds a little bit of nuance to it, but otherwise, yeah, it's the same structure so far. I need to hear that again. I know. Because, yeah, so it's a straight mix, but good. A good straight mix. About to give a third negative to this goddamn zone. Okay, so you notice this is a microcosm of the rest of the song. 2 to start, the oboe or whatever that is, and the clarinet, the woodwind, and the harp, and then the strings come in behind it and then it loops. It's just like a little additive on top of the song. Not necessarily necessary, but at the same time it's good. And it keeps the overall tenets, and most importantly, it doesn't change the tone. This is still exactly as tear-soaked as it should be. It's not a full second movement. It's like it's almost like a bridge before it goes back to the loop. Sorry, I'm reading this extremely dumb quest. I sort of got a chain. Ah! So, the next one is going to be Zozo. Now, I like this song. Get the rain first, of course. You gotta get the vibe from it immediately. Most of the FF games have at least one quirky song. And sometimes they work a little bit different, depending. But yeah, this is definitely the quirky song. Actually, there's another one, but this is the main quirky song of FF6. Which is funny, because it only plays for this one area, which we only go to twice. Or 3 times, if you're feeling like it. But you could kind of get the feel for it. There's an actual hi-hat hit, which is going in the background, just to emulate someone snapping their fingers. Oh, hang on. Like, you just get the feel for it, right? I don't know how to describe this one as well as most songs. But considering Zozo is the land of liars with random encounters in the town, and a mountain and a treasure chest and everything, you get how this is just a weird place. In fact, even in gameplay terms, Zozo is actually a unique combination in terms of style and design, of both being designed like a town and like a dungeon. So... I'm already liking it. Oh, I like that a lot. That's leaning into it. That's a high distorted guitar being pulled in as if it's like it's being played like a woodwind. And yeah, you get a lot of synth going in here. I like that background. Great bridge. I really like the patterning they're doing with the percussion underneath the brass there. I also pulled up the bass a bit, but I think it works in this case. Yeah, call me weird. I think that one's actually better than the original. Like I said, they really lean into it. They add some extra oomph to the beats. And it's really got that, yes, that swing vibe to it. I like it. Oops. Sorry. That will be the next song. This is the song that plays in a couple of places, usually in like a casino, or, of course, the Opera House, which is this one. I'll be honest, I don't actually have much to say about this one. That is not... Yeah, this isn't Johnny C. Bad. This is Spinach Rag. However, I have no idea why this is called Spinach Rag. Oh ho ho, there's nothing I can't buy. I have no idea, Alpha Squid. But yes, this is kind of a carnival. You'll notice once again it is extraordinarily simple. Four layers. 3 holding the primary, whatever that instrument is, and then 1 underneath to emphasize. Yeah, vaudeville, it's a good word for it. And then it loops. Leaning into it much more here. I mean, you know what this reminds me of? Hang on, sorry. You know what this reminds me of? That'd be an FF8. I don't know the name of the song, though. Anyone know the name of the song I'm thinking of in FF8? Some of you probably do. Is this it? Nope. I might not have it here. Yeah, I don't. Of course I don't. Yeah, the Laguna movie. I think I actually don't have it here. And by that, I mean I know with total certainty that I don't. Sorry, give me one. This is going to bother me now. Just give me 1 second. Ah! Okay, whatever. I give up. Point being, yeah, it's like the silent movie thing. Text. It's still the same 4 layers. That's the interesting part. Oh, yeah. That's a good one, Ghost Rider. Slideshow. That's what it is. Hey! It is a little too high-pitched for me, but, I mean, that's what this music kind of sounds like. That's why I don't have it on my playlist anymore. And it's looped. It was slideshow. Thank you. Like this, right? Anyways, so I have nothing really to add to that, so moving on. We go to... I'm gonna have to part and parcel this one out because now we're at the opera. Let's go with... God, the way this does this is so weird. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so that's 142. That's... Yes, it is very strangely split. That's why I'm having trouble here. So that's 142. That's 45. This is German. That doesn't sound German. Never mind.
Furcht der Kämpfe, grausam Schmerz.
Anyway, sorry. Let me give you a second here. Let me try to parcel this a little bit. Okay, so how long is this? Okay, so why is it doing it like this? So I think that's Japanese, even though it's not labeled Japanese. Sorry about all this. This is just, it is all over the place. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be this part first. Y'all know what the opera sounds. I'm not going to play the original for you. You get it. Let's just jump into the new one. I like the strings so far. Quiet, but in a good way. And I love how they use the strings there. I saw your question, Venters. I'm a little busy right now. Also, I have no idea. Like, I don't know... voice... I don't know singers, you know? And then the song ends, so I gotta switch to the next song. This is really weirdly done. So we need English vocals, please.
Oh, Maria. Oh, Maria. My beloved, do you hear my words whispered in your ear, as if I were by your side?
Nobody actually speaks Italian. What are you talking about? I do like the structuring of the vocals there. And then it should lead into... There we go. I could do that, Zed Slayer. If people really want me to, I could layer all of the vocals on top of each other. Oh, that's true, my kimono. You got me there. So, this is probably blasphemy, but so far I'm actually liking this better than the original. The more orchestral sound of the instruments in general sounds better for this kind of operatic vibe. The bombastic additional layers, which kind of ruin some of the songs, absolutely accent this kind of a thing. We've only heard one singer so far. And yes, this is our bridge when we actually get up and start wandering around and playing the game for a minute. This is when we go and help Celeste with her lines. Bridge number 2. Okay, so I like this. In the original, there's only one stanza, which we had already looped. Here they have not stanza, loop. Here there's a second loop. And I think the second loop actually works a lot better than the first one. And then we go back. And hypothetically... Yep, okay, so then we get to the big one. Aria de mezzo cadere. In English, please.
Oh, my hero, my beloved, shall we still be made to part? Though promises of perennial love yet sing here in my heart. I'm the darkness, you're the starlight, shining brightly from afar. Through hours of despair, I offer this prayer to you, my evening star. Must my final vows exchanged be with him and not with you? Were you only here to quiet my fear? Oh, speak, guide me anew.
This sounds auto-tuned. Which I'm almost confused by. But then again, there's a really weird trend in audio editing in the last, like, 8 or so years to lean towards auto-tuning, which... I mean... I don't agree with personally, but that's a bit of a flavor thing. Really like the brass here. Exchange Ed.
I am thankful, my beloved, for your tenderness and grace. I see in your eyes, so gentle and wise, all doubts and fears erased. Though the hours take no notice of what fate might have in store, our love, come what may, will ne'er age a day. I'll wait forevermore.
Whoops. This is going to sound very strange, I'm sure. But I think she should have sang in a full octave lower. Whoever they got to sing it is actually a lovely singer. But her voice... Voices are an instrument like any other. And you got to use them in different ways depending on what you're going for. And I feel like her lower register there actually sounds better. Here, listen to this for a sec. Give me a second, let me get up here. Listen to how she ends here. When she just listen to how different her voice sounds in a lower pitch.
Will ne'er age a day. I'll wait forevermore.
Like you get a hint of what her voice would sound like there. And I think if she had just sung the whole thing a little bit lower, that might have actually worked better. She's not bad. I'm not trying to fling shade here. It's just, it was sounding off to me, and I think that's why. And now, of course, we hear it in Japanese. No, I'm kidding. Unless you want to. I don't care. What instruments do we have? German, English, French, Italian, Japanese, Korean, and Spanish are the options. Kind of does, Velvetrix. I mean, that makes sense, Omega Legion. She is not, in fact, an opera singer. I do think this sounds better than in English, which is not a phrase you'll hear me say very often. Interesting. Italian, I believe, is what the original song was inspired by. Let me go ahead and say that what they do with the instruments in the background is pretty much legit. I have no complaints there whatsoever. So hang on. Why are these separate songs? Whatever. So then we get to the waltz. Locke is going, oh my god, you did a really good job, Celeste. Sean is like, oh my god, Lord, you suck so badly. Spartan is like, oh my god. Halo. Okay, that works. Much more, ball, right? Like you just picture the ballroom. Actually reminds me a little bit of Mario Galaxy music. And so it kind of loops, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit. Hang on, went too far, sorry. Yeah, a lot of poofy gowns going whoosh. Oh god. That's perfect. Where was that earlier from Metamorphosis? Are there not lyrics for this section? Seriously. There we go.
I knew you would comfort me, my love.
Insolent rogue, knave of the western hall, you would address my queen to be Maria. Yes, sir, you have Maria's hand. I would die before that day comes. Then it's a duel.
Enjoy Prince Rals's 2 lines in the entire game. So then we go down to... Love that. Because he is an opera singer, and she's a general. Excuse me, she's a general, not some love star of twit. Or opera floozy, I think is what she says. Once again, I don't have much to say here, except that the addedness, the extra layers, really work well for this kind of operatic piece. General of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her. Oh, wait. Sorry, wrong thing. Good morning, Trathan. While they're dueling, we're up in the rafters dealing with rats. Rats! And Ultros is like, oh, why did I pick something that's so heavy? Ugh. Might be a bridge here. I don't know. In the original soundtrack, there was. So we'll let it play for a minute. Sounds like no. Okay, so no bridge. So. Yeah, it doesn't do it. So there's no bridge at all. Hang on. We gotta have a bridge. Oh, it doesn't even, you can barely hear it. Whatever. So the audience is like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible. And then Locke's like, no! I, too, shall fight for Celeste. I mean, Maria. And then Ultros is like, hey, you're in the presence of octopus royalty. It's a shady trap. And then Locke is like, oh, and then, whatever, screw it. Music! Appropriate for what is an entire lighthearted section intended as a breather between the heaviness of Zozo and the heaviness of Vector, the big boss battle of the area is just... right? This is almost big band. Yeah, the band, I mean, in lore, the band is making it up as they go, so that tracks. They're just saying, sure. So as much as I actually don't care for the English voice actress that much, I don't dislike her. I just don't think she's that great. Overall, big thumbs up on the opera. They did a really good job with that. Now, I believe next... Yep. Next is one of my favorite songs of all time. So we're going to go back to hearing the original for just a second here. This is the Freedom Song, and I don't know what else to call it. Not too many Girl Stars Sure. In fact, it's like 5 more. You notice how they really use the brass in such a triumphant manner. Very hopeful. Very uplifting. The strings constantly keeping the tempo going. And it leaps beautifully back into itself and actually goes on and rise into the loop. God, it's just... Sorry, this is... I'm not joking. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. I love this song. I love how the strings feel like they're racing, but not in a bad way, in a jubilant way in the background. Like because it would probably be really hard to play on an actual, violin or something. Anyways, I'm taking too long. Sorry. So, new version. Okay, keeping the tone so far. Sounds kind of FF9-y. It does feel a bit slowed down, but they're doing some good stuff here. Notice that I feel like it's a French horn because they're doing that fade in, fade out of note thing, but it's not actually pulling away from it because the accompanying harmony is actually chopping it more. Really like that. Notice they pull Uematsu's trick. They swap the harmony and the melody. I like that a lot. I think I like that better than the original. Like, there's a couple parts of the first section that are weaker, but then they go places with it. They use different instruments to contrast and compare each other rather than trying to sit on their own, to sit on their own merits. And most importantly, it doesn't lose the tone. That is just as triumphant and jubilant as it should be. That's awesome. I love that. My God. That's great. So, naturally, we're going to do a weird one next. Well, that's a long one. Now it's time for Johnny C. Bad. Hang on. I'll find the original. I think I have. Yep, there it is. So this actually is a Bars song. And the Colosseum. I don't know why this is called Johnny C. Bad. Don't ask me. Yeah, by the way, if you're paying attention, this is the second swing song here. Might be Mike Romano. I don't know Johnny B. Good well enough to identify it. Probably the most emphasis he puts on bass in all these songs. Like the bass is actually carrying the melody here. The Ultros Boogie. I like it. Anyways, new version. Yeah, I was gonna say, after Zozo, I think we know where this is going. Yes, I did, Cardboard Golem. I sometimes do that without meaning to, and I have to catch myself because some people don't like me when I do that. Or don't like it when I do that. They probably don't like me too, but that's not what I meant. For what it is exactly what it is, but there's a second section here, so we'll see what that sounds like. I mean, I can hear this being played at the bar, you know? It just occurred to me, Mystic Quest did this too, didn't it? Is this it? This is a really long take for just one loop. Well, it is an Imperial territory, so it might be, Trathan. Oh, there we go. Elvis just showed up. Yeah, no, some of these songs you can tell they were just playing with it. Like this one. I'll admit this isn't my favorite style of music, but you can tell they did some good stuff here. I mean, it's making it engaging, Tim, if that's a good word. So I'm having to split my attention 4 ways right now. That's okay, I can do that. Okay, sorry. Looks like it actually looped. Alright, so we've had the silliness of the opera, we've had the ridiculousness of the Zozo, and of course we've had some good character moments. And we have that brief pause. Then we go to the Gestalian Empire. Which is under T, of course. I'm not admitting I'm evil, but I love this song. Yeah, oh God, just I've often theorized that this song actually formed the basis for the Shinra theme in FF7. There's some constructive similarities between the two. They use the, what's it called? There's another term for that, like the gong, in a similar way. The tempo is similar, the emphasis and usage of strings and brass to make like a funeral dirge, military march combination thing. Same concepts. And they specifically used the trumpet that they used for the military camp in order to try and emphasize that military tint to things. But they never let go of the strings, which add to the idea of oppression or tragedy or whatever emotion you want to pull out of that. And of course, the whole thing has a wonderful just... I don't know what word to use. It's slow, but in a very, very good way. And it even loops on just a simple drum beat. No actual instruments, whatever. Just one drum beat and nothing else. So, let's see what the new one sounds like. So we've suddenly become... We're at the Vatican now. Definitely more military. Far more marchy. Which they did with the actual military theme, if you remember, too. Yeah, it's Pope Evil. Exactly. It is. Yeah, I was trying to put a word to it. Haunted is a good word. This sounds like a haunted cathedral. This is the theme for the Gestalian Empire. It plays in Vector. A couple other places, but Vector's the main place, which is the capital of the Gestalian Empire. It looks like that's it for Loop. I do like that. I think I like the original a little bit better because it feels like they changed the vibe and the tone of it, but that's still good. We'll put this in the different camp. Speaking of different, so this is a lot of people... Well, okay. Usually when I ask people, what's your favorite song from FF6, I get a few specific answers. One of the more common ones I tend to get is the Magitech Research Facility. So, you can tell right off this song is very heavily inspired by the Ronka Ruins theme back in FF5. Similar usage of specific instruments to try and get across the industrial factory vibe. Almost assuredly Omega Legion. No, it's... I actually have a playlist called Factory, because a weirdly large number of games have a factory level, or a factory song, or a factory vibe to them, and, well, here we are. This is, in many ways, Sid's theme, which is probably why it's not as doomy and gloomy as this place should actually be, because if you pay attention to the lore, the Magitech Research Facility is a place of horrors. Now, let's see what they do with it in the new one. Okay, I like that a lot. This sounds like an Eggman stage. In a good way. I'm not sure what I think of that synth. He totally would, Chiali. So I love what they do with the beat. The industrial sound in the background. It is a much stronger beat. And the impact is exactly where it needs to be. And if you're paying attention, there's sound effects in the background emphasizing the factory. I'm not sure what I think of that synth. It still has the same overall not terrifying vibe, which doesn't surprise me. The original didn't either. But again, as we've mentioned before, this is arguably Sid's theme. I think I'll probably put this one in the different but as good kind of category. Because it feels like they went a slightly different direction with it, but I'm with it. It's a shame there's no second loop for this one. It looks like, yeah. That's a shame. So we're only going to do one more song, and then we'll cut off for the day, and then because I'd love to get to that song, but I'll save it for next week, because we got a few things up. We got Mog's theme, Strago's theme, Realm's theme, the Esper world, and of course Floating Continent, which I'm really looking forward to, and the Atma Weapon song, which I'm really looking forward to. And then, then we have the relatively few World of Ruin themes, which is just Go-Go, Umaro, Magic House, Epitaph, Fanatic's Tower. Searching for Friends is, of course, the really big one there. And then we get to the finale. So, actually, you know what? We shoved one song ahead last week. Who wants to do that again? Let's keep a vibe going here. No, this is a hunting bad song. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Last week we shoved forward the Overworld. So let's shove forward the Overworld. This is the other song I most often hear as people's favorite song in the game. In fact, most people think this is my favorite song in the game. Searching for Friends. Whereas the overworld of the World of Balance is ironically rather morose and sorrowful, this song is unabashedly hopeful in the World of Ruin. But that contrast makes perfect sense. If you're paying attention thematically, even though the world is fine environmentally in the first half of the game, it's a mess. It's being conquered and crushed, and there's a huge world war. Whereas when we get to the World of Ruin, all there is recovery. Almost every quest arc and almost every story beat of the World of Ruin is all about trying to move through it, right? Move through the grief, move past what has happened and try to improve things. Usually in a very personal way. So we've got the bass beat, obvious strings accompaniment, and that primary woodwind holding the main theme, which itself is a mix of a previous theme. Which leads us, of course, to... second flute. One thing they did in the original and are doing here is they used a form of percussion to try and add an echoey vibe to the song. I like this a lot. I need to hear that again. So the first section is good. It's a straight mix, but it's a good take on it. They do some good stuff with the accompanying flute. But then strings takes over the main melody. We add another layer of brass and another layer of percussion. Brass takes over as the melody. Strings joins the brass. And you notice how it just keeps adding layers and building? And it just fades back into the loop. That's brilliant! That's really good! Like, not just in terms of the song sounding good, but that fits, doesn't it? This is Searching for Friends, because this is the theme of FF6 in one song. No, yeah, I'm having to hold myself back a bit here. Holy crap. This is hitting. I wasn't sure at first, because, you know, I tend to not like the woodwinds they use in the Pixel Remaster, not always. It's true, isn't it, Setslayer? Almost everyone in FF6 has gone through some crap. But they made something better. Yeah, no, I agree. That last part right there really feels like the bit, like in a movie, that would be the bit that plays as you see the airship approaching Kefka's tower, approaching the fire. And in appropriate movie thing, what would happen is that brilliant, you know, we have that big heroic triumph, and then it would fade a little bit. And then we would hear, you know, the gloom and doom of Kefka's tower, which I'm not going to play right now, but wow, that's good stuff. Very, very impressive. I hope you all have enjoyed so far. We might finish it next week. What do we got else? So we've got the airship, Mog's theme, Strago's theme, Realm's theme, the Esper World, the Floating Continent. What is this song? Something bad is happening. Doom. Then we've got the Atma Weapon, and then the Dark World. 2 Dark World songs. World of Ruined Town, Searching for Friends, which is heard. Gogo's theme, Magic House, Epitaph, Umro's theme, Fanatic's Tower, and then Kefka's Tower, followed, of course, by Dancing Mad. So what I'm thinking is we'll probably knock all of those out next week up to Kefka's Tower. And then 2 weeks from now, we'll hit Dancing Mad in the ending, because those are very long songs. And Dancing Mad is one of the most objectively well-constructed songs in video game music. So, it'll be interesting to analyze what they do with that one. I do hope you've enjoyed. I am going to go ahead and chop off the local recording.